Well, bless your hearts. I was thinking the other day, sitting on the porch swing, sipping sweet tea, you know how it is, and it just came to me, clear as a bell, you just don't snap an elephant to a tree. Now, you might be looking at me sideways thinking, Jane, always, where in the world did that come from? And that's fair, but let me tell you, life is full of these little elephant to a tree moments. See, a fella I know, sweet as can be, but sometimes he gets a little enthusiastic. He was trying to teach his grandbaby to tie her shoes. Now, that little girl, she's got a mind of her own, bless her heart, and he was getting frustrated, snapping at her, you know. No, not like that. Do it this way. Just like he was trying to tie an elephant to a little sapling. It just wasn't going to work. That little girl, she wasn't a sapling. She was a whole magnificent, albeit slightly shoelace-challenged elephant. You can't just yank and expect her to bend to your will. You got to be patient. You got to show her, gently. You got to let her figure it out in her own time. And it's like that with so many things, isn't it? You can't rush a good tomato growing. You can't force a friendship. You certainly can't make a teenager clean their room by just snapping at They're all elephants in their own way. We get in such a hurry sometimes, don't we? We want things done now. We want people to be a certain way right this minute. And we end up just trying to tie these big, powerful things to something that just ain't gonna hold in. So the next time you find yourself getting a little frustrated, a little tempted to just snap, I want you to think about that elephant. Think about the sheer size and strength of it. And then look at that little tree. It just ain't a fair fight, is it? Sometimes the best thing you can do is just step back, take a deep breath, and remember that some things, well, they just take a little more coaxing, a little more patience, a little more understanding. Because you just don't snap an elephant to a tree. You just don't. Being patient and understanding with people acknowledges their inherent complexity and individuality. Each person is a unique tapestry woven with experiences, perspectives, and paces. To approach them with the expectation of immediate conformity or adherence to our own timelines is akin to attempting to tether a creature of immense power and will to something fragile and unyielding. The analogy of not snapping an elephant to a tree vividly illustrates this mismatch in scale and inherent nature. An elephant, majestic and strong, cannot be constrained by a sapling. Similarly, human beings, with their intricate inner worlds, cannot be effectively managed or influenced through force or impatience. Patience, in this context, is not merely waiting. It is an active engagement that recognizes the other person's journey. It involves allowing space for growth, understanding that learning and change occur at different rates for everyone. When we are patient, we create an environment where individuals feel safe to explore, to make mistakes, and to develop in their own way. Conversely, impatience can breed resentment, resistance, and ultimately hinder the very progress we seek. Think of trying to rush the blooming of a flower. Tugging at the petals will not hasten its opening, but rather damage its delicate structure. Similarly, pressuring individuals can stifle their potential and create unnecessary friction. Understanding the companion to patience delves deeper into recognizing the underlying reasons for a person's behavior or pace. It requires empathy, the ability to step into another's shoes and see the world from their vantage point. When we strive to understand, we move beyond surface level judgments and appreciate the complexities that shape individual actions. Perhaps what appears as slowness is actually thoughtful consideration, or what seems like resistance stems from fear or past experiences. By seeking to understand, we build bridges of connection and foster an atmosphere of trust. This understanding allows us to tailor our approach, recognizing that a one-size-fits-all mentality rarely works when dealing with the multifaceted nature of human beings. Consider the dynamics of teaching. A patient teacher understands that each student learns at their own rhythm. Some grasp concepts quickly, while others require more time and varied explanations. An impatient teacher, focused solely on the curriculum and deadlines, might become frustrated with those who need extra support, potentially making them feel inadequate and hindering their learning. However, A patient and understanding teacher recognizes these differences, adapts their methods, and fosters a supportive environment where every student can thrive. This approach, rooted in patience and understanding, ultimately yields better results than one driven by pressure and rigid expectations. The same principle applies to relationships, whether personal or professional. Building strong connections requires time, empathy, and a willingness to understand each other's perspectives. Impatience can erode trust and create conflict. Imagine a friendship where one person constantly pushes the other to make decisions or adhere to their preferences without considering their feelings or needs. Over time, this lack of patience and understanding can strain the bond. In contrast, a relationship characterized by patience allows for open communication, mutual respect, and the space for each individual to be themselves. In a professional setting, leaders who exhibit patience and understanding often cultivate more engaged and productive teams. Recognizing that employees have different strengths, learning styles, and personal circumstances fosters a culture of support and growth. A manager who immediately dismisses an employee's struggles without seeking to understand the root risks demotivating that individual. However, a leader who takes the time to listen, offer guidance, and acknowledge the challenges demonstrates patience and understanding, ultimately empowering their team members to overcome obstacles and contribute effectively. Ultimately, being patient and understanding with people reflects a recognition of our shared humanity and the inherent value of each individual. It moves us away from a transactional approach, where we expect immediate results, and towards a more relational perspective, where we invest in fostering growth and connection, just as you wouldn't try to tether a powerful elephant to a fragile sapling. We should not attempt to constrain the complexities of human nature with impatience and a lack of understanding. Instead, we should cultivate patience and strive to understand, allowing individuals the space and support they need to flourish in their own unique way. This approach, while sometimes requiring more time and effort, ultimately leads to stronger, more meaningful, and more effective interactions. Avoiding rushing or trying to force outcomes acknowledges the organic nature of growth and development. Just as a farmer cannot will a seed to sprout instantaneously or dictate the precise moment of harvest, many aspects of life, particularly those involving people and complex processes, unfold according to their own internal rhythms. To attempt to force these processes is often counterproductive, leading to frustration, resistance, and potentially damaging the very outcome we desire. The image of not snapping an elephant to a tree resonates here as well. A large, powerful process or individual cannot be abruptly manipulated to fit a preconceived timeline or expectation. Rushing often stems from a desire for immediate gratification or a belief that we can exert absolute control over situations. However, life rarely operates in such a linear fashion. Whether it's the development of a skill, the healing of a relationship, or the progress of a project, each has its own natural trajectory. Trying to accelerate these processes beyond their inherent pace can lead to shortcuts, oversights, and ultimately a less robust or even failed outcome. Imagine trying to build a house in a single day. The foundation would be weak, the structure unsound, and the final result far from satisfactory. Similarly, rushing human development or complex projects often sacrifices quality and sustainability for the illusion of speed. Forcing outcomes often involves imposing our will or expectations without regard for the natural flow of events or the perspectives of others. This can manifest as micromanagement, where every step is dictated and creativity is stifled, or as pressuring individuals to conform to a specific viewpoint or timeline, just as one cannot force a river to flow uphill. Attempting to force outcomes that are not aligned with the natural dynamics of a situation is likely to meet with resistance and ultimately prove futile. True progress often emerges from allowing a degree of organic development where ideas can percolate, individuals can contribute their unique insights, and solutions can evolve naturally. Consider the creative process. Ideas rarely spring forth fully formed. They often require time for incubation, exploration, and refinement. An attempt to force creativity by demanding immediate results can stifle innovation and lead to mediocre output. Instead, allowing for a period of exploration, experimentation, and even seemingly unproductive wandering can often yield more original and impactful results. The same holds true for personal growth. Individuals need time to reflect, to process experiences, and to integrate new learning. Trying to force personal transformation through rigid rules or constant pressure can be counterproductive, leading to resentment and a lack of genuine internal change. In the realm of teamwork, attempting to force a particular outcome without allowing for collaboration and diverse perspectives can lead to suboptimal solutions and disengaged team members. When individuals feel that their input is not valued or that the outcome is predetermined, their motivation and creativity are likely to diminish. A more effective approach involves fostering an environment where ideas can be freely exchanged, different viewpoints are considered, and the final outcome emerges from a collective process. This collaborative approach, while potentially taking more time, often leads to more robust and widely accepted results. The natural world provides countless examples of the limitations of forcing outcomes. A seed needs the right conditions and time to germinate and grow. One cannot simply pull it from the ground and expect it to flourish. Similarly, healing from an injury requires time and patience. Attempting to rush the process can lead to further damage. Recognizing these natural rhythms and respecting the time required for growth and development is crucial in many aspects of life. Ultimately, avoiding rushing or trying to force outcomes is about aligning ourselves with the natural pace of things and recognizing the value of organic development. It requires patience, a willingness to relinquish absolute control, and trust in the process. Just as we wouldn't try to make an elephant fit into a bird cage, we should avoid trying to shoehorn complex situations or individuals into our preconceived notions or timelines. By allowing things to unfold more naturally, we often achieve more sustainable and ultimately more satisfying results. This approach acknowledges the inherent wisdom in allowing time for things to develop, for understanding to deepen, and for genuine progress to emerge